Welcome back, Stas23 here, back again with some knife therapy. And before I get started, if you like this video, please drop a thumbs up on it. It helps out the channel a whole bunch. If not, thumbs down also works. And if you like knife content and you're not already, think about smashing that subscribe button with the bell notification so you don't miss any of the content. Alrighty, today I have another Kizer for y'all, the Kizer October. I picked this one up from White Mountain Knives for $129. And this is a design collaboration with Dmitry, I think it's Osarnenko, or I can't, Osarenko. He's from Russia. I'm butchering that name. And his knife company is Dock, his name, and you know, whatever. There you go, D-O-C-K. And you can get it in this variation at the moment, and also a non-coated blade with red linen micarta. That's the only two, and there's a premium one coming as well with titanium scales also. Let's get a size, the specs out of the way so you know about how big or how small this knife is. You have a total length of 7.13 inches, so it's in that medium to small range. You have a blade length of 2.91 inches, so it's going to be legal in a lot of areas that have restrictions on 3 and under. You have a thin thickness in the scales of 0.43 inches, closed width from here to here of 1.35 inches, blade stock thickness of 0.118 inches or 2.97 millimeters. And you have a behind the edge thickness of around 18 thousandths at 20 degrees per side. All right, let's break off into the cutting footage, see how this knife does, and I'll be right back. All right, we're going to test the initial sharpness. This is the factory edge. Nice and sharp. Kizer usually does a good job with that. And we'll start out with the cardboard. All right, it did really good. Sliced very well. Got some crud on the blade. Scale screaming sharp. All right, now we're gonna cut up a few different materials. Some blue jean denim rolled up, some thicker dense tubing with some mesh in it, some more dense like water tubing, and some thick bungee, and some leather as well. This thing is slicing excellent. Okay, now we're going to test the ergos with some pine 2x4. I'm going to try choking up first and then maybe come back on it. Alrighty, I will say in this grip right here, it feels a little awkward because you got this flat spot right here, and the scales are a little thin, so it wasn't the most comfortable, but it was comfortable for its size and how thin it is, if that makes any sense. All right, now we're gonna cut up some 3/8 twisted sisal rope. We'll just cut, I don't know, however many this is. Let's see, in frame. I think it's sliced pretty well. One thing I noticed, like I said before, the thin scales, I kept trying to decide how I want to hold it, trying to put that pressure down into the cut. This felt good, but I can only do that so many times. And this right here was pretty good with this little scoop. Alrighty, I hope y'all enjoyed that cutting footage. I sure enjoyed making it. Let's take a close look at this. On mine, you have this black coated blade of 20 CV blade steel, flat ground. You have the Kizer logo on here, 20 CV up here, the model number right there. On this side, you have the knife name and the designer's maker mark. You have dual fullers on both sides. You have opening oblong hole right there. You have nice fine cut jimping that is comfortable just rubbing it on your hands, but when you really bear down, it will grab a hold to that thumb, even with the coated blade. You do have a full forward finger trawl right here that I can fit my finger up nicely. And whenever I was cutting in some of the cuts, I noticed whenever I had my thumb up, whenever I was choked up, this little spot right here is nice to put your finger in. Now, I did notice when cutting cardboard and stuff like that, it really helped to put my finger in here, because if not, whenever I was holding it back here, I'm so far from the edge, I kept getting caught in between there. So, you know, this knife is more suited for the choke up position. Oops. Let's close it up. You have a nice smooth action riding on ceramic bearings and a ceramic detent ball. And this is a triple threat. You have your flipper tab right here. That is a push button. You do have jimping. It grabs a hold of that finger nicely. It's comfortable. You can also get to that thumb hole pretty easily for the thumb flick, as I failed it. And you can also get to the back and do that spotty flick. So that's your third option. And you can do a fourth by just pinching it and opening it up as well. I did notice that this back side of this fuller, if you didn't want to use that hole, I can get my fingernail in the fuller right there and do the spotty flick. I can't, well, I say I can't. It's harder to grab with my thumb. Close it up. You have all black hardware that is all T8. Excellent job. T8 on this side as well. You have contoured black linen micarta scales. Very nice and comfortable. And the height of the scales helps fill out the hands, being that they're thin in this dimension and thickness. You have flow-through construction with two black-coated hourglass standoffs, so you could blow this knife out fairly easy. You're not going to cut yourself in the closed position. The knife is still completely centered from all the testing I've done. The pocket clip is a deep carry, tip up right hand carry only. Sorry, lefties. Let's check it out in the pocket. Oop, wrong side. Goes in nicely. Oop. Goes in nicely, and for the most part, it stays on that side. There's nothing on the, whenever you're reaching your hand in down there, there's nothing to grab a hold of your hand. Just a little bit of the knife sticking up. If you want to use that to pinch it, pull it out. Your liners have been inset. They're also coated black. And you do have lightning holes in there to reduce the weight. Speaking of weight, we'll check it out in grams first, because that's what's first. 92 grams and 3.25 ounces. So excellent for a good EDC knife, in my opinion. Let's get some size comparisons out of the way. You have a knife that this knife has replaced for me as far as what I was looking for, as far as better materials, and that is the CRKT Large Pilar. This is what I'd hoped this knife would be. So the Large Pilar is smaller. You have the QSP Penguin. They're pretty much identical in length. You have the small CJRB Feldspar, also pretty close in length, if not identical, and the Ontario Rat Model 2, the smaller one. All those are comparable in length. So overall, I thought the knife sliced really well. It was fairly comfortable in hand. The micarta feels good in hand, good traction. I think aesthetically, it's really nice looking. I love it's got a super high fidgetability to it. And it's just, I can't wait for the titanium version to come out because I want to check that one out as well. I like the fact that you're getting 20 CV, all these nice materials, and it performed well for 129 bucks. My only complaints are that there's no lefty love, and the pocket clip, it looks a little cheap on overall nice looking knife in my opinion. I would have loved to see a milled clip or something, even if a deep carry clip, just something that looks a little nicer. This one feels a little bit dainty, but it's not as bad as the one that was on my Kizer Deviant. As far as ergos go, like I said, back here, it feels good, but I'm so far from the edge, I kept getting caught in this when I was doing like slicing through cardboard and stuff like that. Now, when I was cutting the rope, I kept changing my grip up. Right here was nice. I was able to push down with my finger. But the thinner scales and this forward choil, if you scoot up enough, it feels decent, but anytime you got this flat spot right here, where my fingers are kind of like trying to decide where to go the middle finger. So when I'm sitting right there, it's okay. You just got to make sure to position your hands right. It's not terrible. It's just not the best ergos I've ever felt. So overall, if you like the look of the knife and nothing that I talked about bothers you, I'd say definitely pick it up. I think it's a good value for what you're getting. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. I hope everybody's having an absolute wonderful day. I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.